Hello, everybody. I'm not tired at all. 11 hours. 11 hours straight of Overwatch League last night. I'm not tired. I'm not emotionally drained, not physically drained at all. I'm hyped. Stage number 2 couldn't come any quicker. We have a week break. What am I supposed to do with that? These teams are super competitive. The parity in this league it's amazing. Why can't we get to stage 2 already? Please. If you don't know what happened last night, the London Spitfire, losing to Houston and losing to New York previously in the week, had to beat both of those teams to win $100,000 in the stage playoffs. They beat Houston 3-1, and then in their third game of the day, reversed swept the New York Excelsior. The New York Excelsior looked more tired than the team who played 14 maps yesterday. That being said, my power rankings include the Excelsior in number 1. That was sad. That was a sad transition for the Spitfire fans. The Spitfire, the reason why they have so much stamina is because I don't think a single player on that team played all 14 of those maps. They have 12 amazing, top-tier, world-class players on their team. New York only has 8 actually. They only have 2 subs. New York also had to play a game earlier that day. We gotta remember that this team also could have some stamina issues too. Playing 2 games is super hard in one day as well. That's like 4 hours of stuff. And New York Excelsior, this team is, I think, more well equipped than the Spitfire. Despite Spitfire having 12 players, I think the Excelsior has Sabiel B, who I believe is the best tracer, despite getting absolutely shut down by the Spitfire yesterday in both of their games because of Junkrat McCree. I still think he is the best tracer. He wasn't getting out-dueled or anything. He was just getting countered. They have Pine, who's one of the most insane hit scan players in the league. They have Jonak, who is definitely the best Zen in the league. Excelsior deserve that number 1 spot. I really do, because I believe the only reason Spitfire won reverse sweeped Excelsior is stamina. And stamina isn't going to give you that number 1 spot, because this is honestly the only situation where you're going to be playing 3 games in one day. Even going forward, it's not going to happen anymore because Nate Nancer said that he's going to move stage playoffs to Sundays instead of the Saturday. So the most you're going to play is 2 games in one day. The Outlaws are at number 3. After I talked about the Spitfire and Excelsior for a bit there, I do have Outlaws at number 3 and below the Spitfire, despite them having a fantastic beginning of the week, beating Spitfire 3-1. I do think the Outlaws are overall better than Spitfire if they were playing in sort of the first game of the day type situation in this meta, but I think going forward in the next meta, Outlaws should no longer be favored over the Spitfire. I think the Outlaws are a little bit worse without that Mercy meta going on, but they still will be competing for that number 1 spot. I do think that. Uprising, talked about them a lot last week. I have nothing new to say. They nailed my expectations this week. They lost 3-2 against the Outlaws, and they 4-0'd Philadelphia. I expected that exact situation to happen. I predicted those exact numbers, actually. This team will live up to its name, and I do expect them to see the Uprising at number 1 sometime this season on my power rankings. Dynasty had a rough week. They're so tired of the Mercy meta, and I want to apologize to all of the Seoul Dynasty fans that had to see Ryu Jae Hong play on Mercy this week. How sad is that? Ryu Jae Hong had to play Mercy this week. They beat Shock 3-2 but got 3-0 to the Valiant. The only reason I have them over the Valiant is this team is going to be great again once Mercy's out of the meta. They're having Mercy fatigue. That's the best way to explain it for sure. Valiant at number 6. This team's great too. Don't take offense, Valiant fans. We're only at number 6. We beat the Dynasty. I just explained why the Dynasty are going to be over you. I think I think this team just had a rough week and they're sick and tired of the Mercy meta. They'll get a lot better. And I think they will be better than the Valiant next stage. I do think Valiant get a lot better next stage, though. They also hate the Mercy meta, and Unko is going to be super happy. I want to see Unko that isn't upset, but I don't know if we'll see that ever. Fusion. 6-4 is really good for their circumstances. We gotta remember this team wasn't there for the preseason, played together for the first time about 5 days before the season started. 6-4 above 500 is insane for that circumstance. They're having diva troubles. They're having some troubles. They went to 5 maps against the Mayhem. Things like this are going to happen. They're going to get better. They're going to have a nice little break, figure out strategies. Fusion will be there. Playoff race. Fuel. As a sports fan, I have so much trouble letting dynasties and like franchises die. I really do, and you'll notice that from the power rankings earlier this season. It took me way too long to put the Fuel down at the bottom of my list. Well, they rose back up this week. They won both of their games without Effect. Effect had to go to South Korea, unfortunately, for some family stuff. He'll be back for Stage 2. They will also have AKM going into Stage 2. Taimu finally looked really good against the Gladiators. They went 2-0 this week. They looked really good. Chips will finally not have to play the Mercy. This team benefits from not having Mercy. XQC will be back and hopefully reformed. Fuel. They're going to be there. They will. They will. I guarantee it. Gladiators and Shock, we'll talk about them in the group together. They're both just having some strategy struggles, some team struggles, some consistency problems. But I do want to brag about how I knew the Gladiators were better than the Shock, guys, because a lot of people have the Shock above Gladiators. I'm here. I'm here having the Gladiators over the Shock every week, and they beat the Shock this week. They did it. I find these two teams similar in consistency. I think the Shock have looked good at times, but they're just really inconsistent as far as DPS goes and especially support goes. I think the Hack is going to want to be back on that Lucio too. And they'll eventually get Sinatra and Super in there. I don't know how much better this team gets, but they'll get better for sure. Mayhem and Dragons, nothing more you can say about these two teams, but those pickups, those rumored pickups for the Dragons look exciting, and hopefully the Mayhem get some more players, right? These two teams are not good. That's it for this week's Power Rankings. I'll be back tomorrow with a map analysis, and Tuesday I got something special for you guys, so subscribe. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment below. I'll be answering questions and stuff like that. Thank you guys.